fights, basically. So I think she's one of the producers and basically the main like host of the show is Natalie Nunn, and she was on Bad Girls Club back in the day. I used to love Bad Girls Club. I wanted to be on the show back when I was younger because I'm just messy like that. So basically Baddies was like Baddies is like a spin-off of sorts of Bad Girls Club. So Natalie's gathered like all these girls that are majority of them I feel like are rappers or like performers or some sort, but you know, they have like a little bit of a reputation online already, so some of them already knew each other before the show. Most of them had like beef before the show. So basically there's different seasons, and in each season she went to a different like coast. So there was like Baddies West, Baddies East, Baddies South, I think. So the most recent one is Baddies East, where they traveled the whole East Coast. They went to like New York, Philly, and I can't remember where else they went. So basically they travel around, they do gigs together, but the basis of the show is that they're like constantly like beefing with each other. So anyways, let's talk about it. This season was very messy because you could tell from the first episode that they specifically chose people that had beef with each other outside of the show, because they were already fighting. Like, it was on site as soon as they got to like their first meetup, and then they kind of like split the girls into two houses. So it was like the girls that had been on the show before and Natalie, and like I feel like the girls that Natalie liked the best were all in like house A, and then house B was like all the new girls. And they weren't just beefing with each other. Like, house A and house B weren't just beefing with each other. It was like people in house B had issues with each other, people in house A had issues with each other. Like, it was just very messy. And then Natalie got into it with her bestie Scotty, which I thought was so like why they're supposed to be like best friends, like sisters, and they're like literally fist fighting each other. Sorry, I just hit the mic. They're like literally fist fighting each other like over something so silly because Scotty got her food first at the table. Now Scotty is my favorite. I'm not a fan of Natalie Nunn. I wasn't a fan of her on Bad Girls Club, and I'm still not a fan of her now. I think she's very messy, and like she hides behind her security basically, so she'll like act like she's big and bad and tough, but then like has her security team surrounding her at all times, like don't let them touch me kind of thing, unless it's somebody that she feels like she can beat. So I feel like that's why she like tried to fight with Scotty, because she wanted to like prove a point or something, because Scotty's really not a fighter and she's just like a nice girl. She runs a business. I think it's like an athletic business. Like she makes like workout bands and stuff like that, and like workout clothes. And she's just very non-problematic, and I think Scotty's been on almost every season, or no, maybe she's been on like the last 2 or 3 seasons, and she's always been unproblematic. Like, yeah, people have beef with her, but she's never really trying to like fight or like instigate anything, and she doesn't like purposely cause drama. So Scotty's always been my favorite, even though she is a little bit, I like her, it's fine. And then there were just too many girls on this season, I feel like, so I'm really not gonna get into like all of their beef with each other because it was so dumb, most of it. Like, yes, I do find it entertaining, but it's not entertaining enough for me to sit here and like give you a play-by-play of all of their drama. There was literally like 14 girls on the show, but I'll give you like, you know, brief overviews of like the things that stuck out to me, I guess. So like one of the girls, her name's Rolly, and Rolly's been on the show first season as well, and I really liked her in the beginning. She was on another show. I want to say she was on like, I don't know what it was, something like Flavor of Love, but it wasn't Flavor of Love, or maybe it was, but I don't remember. I didn't know her before the show, basically, but she came on with her other friend. I forgot her friend's name. And yeah, like they had beef in the first season. Not her and her friend, but like they would get into it with other girls from the first season, because that's basically what the whole show is about. Is like getting into it with each other. But in the beginning, I really was like, I was kind of like down for her. Like I was like, she has points. She's not trying to be problematic. She's just like standing on business, as they say. So like I was cool with her in the beginning, but as the seasons progress, I feel like she's starting to become a little bit of a bully, and like I don't know, maybe she's like, you know, the money's getting to her head a little bit or something, because she feels like, oh, I'm a Zeus girly now. Zeus Network is, I think I said that already, Zeus Network is the network that, you know, does the show, but whatever, like she's got money now, she has fans. She always had fans because she's a rapper, and she was a rapper before the show, so she did have a following already. But I guess, like, I don't know, I feel like it's getting to her head a little bit, and I'm not really liking like her attitude and the fights that she's having, or like she's jumping into other people's fights. Okay, Smiley, let's talk about Smiley, because I feel like Smiley really got a bad rap. Smiley's from Miami. She's also a rapper. Was she a rapper before the show? I don't know. But they started off from jump, like already clowning this girl. Like, why? Because I guess she was a fan. Oh, and she really wanted to be on the show. So Natalie was basically calling her a stalker in the beginning of the show, saying how she would like text her all the time and like asked to be on the show, and was like, you know, Baddies super fan or whatever, and basically like saying that she just wanted clout. But all the girls on the show just wanted clout. Like that's literally the point of the show, is to like do business together and, you know, grow your business and, you know, promote yourself. Basically the whole show is about clout. So like they were clowning her so hard because she wanted to be on the show so bad, and then like they put her on the show, I feel like because she like picked fights with people online, and in the first episode she was boxing them up, girl. I think she had a little bit of beef with Mariah Lynn, who was on, I think she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta or something like that, but I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know any of these girls except for the ones that were in the previous seasons on the show. I had no idea who they were before this. Oh, and like Krishan Rock is on the show. She's been on previous seasons as well. She dates Blueface, but she's also a rapper, and at the beginning of this season she was pregnant, so she brought her sister on the show. Her sister's name is Taziki. I'm like going way off kilter because I was just talking about Smiley, but anyway, let's go back to Smiley. Krishan was the only person that I knew ahead of time before they came on the show, so basically that's what I wanted to say with that. But yeah, Smiley, they like started with her right from the beginning. They just gave her a bad rap before she even got to the house. I didn't like that. I'm not gonna lie though, she really didn't do herself any favors, because she like, I don't know, she like had to go to the hospital in the beginning of the show, and the beef that she had with Mariah Lynn was over a chain that she snatched and like stole, basically. So Mariah Lynn really just wanted her chain back. And Smiley was like, no, I sold it. Like whatever. And then she ended up going to the hospital, and she told everybody that she herself and make money, and that is the best way that she knew how to do it, was by staying on the show. So that's what she did. And I feel like the other girls didn't need to be as mad as they were about the situation. And then, yeah, I'm not gonna get into all the details because I really want to talk about Love is Blind. But basically, the way they treated her is what bothered me in this show the most. Because then later on in the season, first of all, they like started to like basically shun her after that. And I'm not even getting into the whole thing with Biggie and how they try to kick Biggie and Smiley out the house, and then Biggie was like, no, I'm not going nowhere, and then Smiley basically like just followed in her footsteps and didn't leave either. But then afterwards, Smiley ended up, they went to Jamaica, I think it was, and then Smiley ended up having a seizure in Jamaica, and again, the way they handled that was out of control. Oh, Sky from Black King Crew was also on this season, and I really loved her. She was really trying to be like Mama Bear and like, you know, have everybody's back kind of thing. And I really like how she handled the situation with Smiley when she was having the seizure, because everybody else was like, she's faking it. Like, why would this girl, why? If you saw, and first of all, like they made an entire episode just based off this girl having seizures, which I thought was wild. Like that made me so uncomfortable. But again, if you actually watch the episode, that does not look fake. I feel like you cannot fake that. So Smiley basically got really drunk, and she has a history of seizures, and she was not on her meds, and she's not supposed to drink. So she drank way too much when she had seizures, and I feel like that's very believable. Y'all, I just choked on the juice from my fruit because I'm talking too much. I don't really have much else to say about Baddies East, to be honest, because I feel like all the fights that they had were just petty and ridiculous. But yeah, I feel like I've said my piece. But let's talk about Love is Blind. So this season of Love is Blind has been absolutely nuts. It's like the craziest season by far. I don't know, like I have a lot of really mixed feelings, but let's first talk about the time that they had in the pods. Because Matthew, from the second Matthew started, and my boyfriend was like, no, give him a chance, like you don't know him, like, you know, maybe it doesn't mean to be this way. But no, from the second he started in the pods and he was like walking out on people, maybe it was the edit, maybe it wasn't, but regardless, like his demeanor in general, whether he walked on the mid-sentence or not, his demeanor in general was just not like, I would not want to date you, bro. Like, why would you come on a dating show and act like that? Like, I get it, you have a certain standard that you're looking for, but you're also being like very standoffish and not really giving anyone a chance. So like, you're already blocking your own blessings, I feel like. And I don't know, I just didn't like his attitude in the beginning. I feel like that was not the attitude that you should have when coming on a show like that. And he was giving very much serial killer vibes to me. I don't know. So yeah, that, and that's really all I took from the pod situation. Like, because then like the couples that, I feel like the couples that they showed in the pods, like I kind of already knew where things were gonna go. Although I wish that Chelsea would have picked Trevor, because I feel like that would have been much better for her. However, I did hear after, you know, now that the show is airing, that Trevor had a girlfriend outside of the pods, and like the girlfriend knew that he was gonna be on the show. So it was just like a very messy season. I'm not understanding like who did the casting for this season, because a lot of these people supposedly had like significant others outside the show before they even came on, which is wild to me. But anyways, yeah, I kind of wish that Chelsea would have picked Trevor, because I feel like her and Jimmy are not compatible. I'm glad that Jimmy and Jess didn't end up together, because I feel like Jess can do way better than Jimmy. I'm sorry, I do not like Jimmy. I don't know why everybody was so infatuated with him in the pods for whatever reason. Like, I don't get it. He seemed very boring to me. And okay, like, whereas Jimmy, I feel like he was gaslighting her a little bit when it came down to like hanging out with his friends. Like, I understand you want to go hang out with your friends and it's just an hour and blah blah blah, and like Chelsea was not giving him the space to like voice his feelings and stuff. She was very much making it all about her. But as a partner, if you know that your significant other is insecure about something, you should do what you need to do to make them feel more secure, or at least hear them out, you know what I mean? I feel like at a certain point he was not really willing to hear her out anymore. She was very specific about, like, you know, he had a relationship with one of his best female friends or woman friends in the past, and that made her uncomfortable. But maybe at the same time, maybe she wasn't really clear about how uncomfortable that really made her, which, you know, is a mistake on her part. Overall, though, I think the relationship is just not going in the right direction. It's a little bit toxic for me. Like, I don't think that they should get married at the end of the show. That's my opinion. And then, yeah, because now, okay, so last episode, they had that, like, get together at the lake house kind of thing, and so they met all of the people that they had already spoken to, like, the other people that they were speaking to in the pod. So Jimmy had a chance to talk to Jess, and he was like, oh, you're still my number one. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, I'm just over Jimmy at this point. I'm glad that, like, he just doesn't belong with anybody. So, moving on from Jimmy and Chelsea, they need to just cancel it. Like, you know, wedding's off. It's done. Moving on from them, though, let's talk about Jeremy and Lauren. Why does Jeremy spell his name like that? I've never seen it before. I think it's weird. But yeah, so Jeremy and Lauren, I think that Lauren, I'm not gonna say that she is at fault at all, because she's definitely not. Like, Jeremy was definitely in the wrong 100%. He definitely should not have stayed out until 5:30 in the morning. Like, just knowing that you're on the show and knowing that you're potentially about to marry this person, out of respect for the person that you're about to marry, you should not do things like that, regardless of whether you were sitting in the car doing whatever the heck you were doing. You should not be out until 5:30 in the morning with another woman that you were just, like, forming a relationship with, when you're literally about to marry someone. Like, it's just poor judgment on Jeremy's part, and I understand that maybe he apologized, but the way that he handled the situation, and also just the way that Lauren handled the situation, like, I just think they handled the situation very poorly. And, like, if this is how they're gonna handle conflict in the future, then they probably are better off not getting married anyway. And Sarah Ann, like, I feel like the internet is giving her a lot of grief right now because she shot her shot, but I can understand why she shot her shot. I don't like that. Like, she shouldn't have done. Okay, here's the thing with the DM. I understand why she sent the DM. Jeremy should not have responded to it. He should have just, like, not responded and maybe, like, blocked her even, or just ignored it completely. He shouldn't have given it a heart. He could have given it maybe a thumbs up. I would have been okay with a thumbs up, maybe, but definitely don't follow her. Like, you guys are not going to be friends after a message like that, you know what I mean? On Jeremy's part, like, if you're really not interested, which he said he was not, then you shouldn't have engaged the way that you did. Like, a heart reaction is too much, in my opinion. I know it's like, oh, it's just social media kind of thing, but the things that you do and say have impact. Like, you need to, regardless of whether you are putting any stock into it, you don't know what kind of stock the other person is putting into it, so you need to be conscious of that as well, or what other people would think about it, especially because you're on a show. Like, you're on a show, you're putting your life out for the world to see, and you need to, like, be aware of how the world is gonna judge you based on things like that. I understand in the real world, like, you're not being judged by the entire world in the real world, but this is not the real world. Like, you're on a show. So Sarah Ann should have been a little bit more self-aware of that, but I do understand. I feel like if I was her, I would have sent the DM as well, but I wouldn't have stayed out until 5 o'clock in the morning with this man. I wouldn't have done that. I would not have done that, especially for a man that didn't pick you, a man that picked someone else and chose to marry someone else. I would not have done that for him. So that's how I feel about that situation. And then I love has his issues, and like, you know, he has a lot of trauma that he needs to sort out. But I love that AD is so patient with him, and he's really like, it seems like he's really willing to try. And I feel like, again, the internet is like giving him a lot of grief because of like the way that he's voicing his feelings and the things that he's concerned about. Like, yeah, he's concerned about being a cheater. People are like, cheating is not hereditary, but I can understand that type of mentality, especially this day and age when cheating is such like a normal thing. It's like, so people do it all the time. It's like I don't know. Anyway, I really like, I love them, and I hope they work out. They're like the one couple that I hope really gets married. Them and I always forget their names. The Puerto Rican girl and the little white boy with the curly hair. I love them too. They're so cute together. And then I really felt bad for Brittany. I feel like Kenneth kind of played her a little bit, like led her on a little bit or something. Like, I don't know if he was just like really uncomfortable with being in an interracial couple, but I feel like she really would have like held it down for him. Like, I feel like she had really, really good intentions, and I'm sad that it didn't work out for them. And I'm gonna put all the blame on Kenneth, to be honest with you, because I feel like he really didn't try. Like, he wasn't trying to compromise. He was just like, well, this is what it is. This is how my life is, and like, it's not gonna change. I feel like Kenneth was just like really rigid in his ways. Like, he was not gonna change the way that he was used to doing things, and that's not how you start a partnership. So you know, maybe Brittany dodged a bullet, but I'm really sad that it happened that way for her. Who am I missing? I talked about Chelsea and Jimmy. I talked about Jeremy and Lauren. Talked about AD and Clay. Talked about Kenneth and Brittany. I talked about the Puerto Rican girl and her dude. I'm missing a couple. I feel like. Alright, well, I definitely feel like I'm missing a couple right now. But it is time for me to end this video. It's starting to get really loud outside, in case you guys can't hear. I'm sure you can hear it, and I'm gonna try to edit it out as best I can, but I can only do so much. But man, I'm definitely missing a couple, and I can't think who it is. That's so crazy. Or maybe I'm not. Did I say them all? Oh, the way Chelsea was talking to Trevor at the lake house. I don't know, like, she definitely should have went with him. I feel like, yeah, it's just really scandalous this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. I'm really looking forward to the reunion show. I feel like I'm definitely missing stuff, but if you guys are interested in this video, I will definitely do another one when the whole show is over, and we can go a little bit more in depth. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for chatting and snacking with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel.